But we're going outside because we're going to celebrate
the universe.
The universe. So we're going to be outside. If you're able to go somewhere to see the outside in your place or go outside, please take a moment. In the meantime, I'll show you outside in case you can't get outside. And I personally am celebrating being outside because we've been inside for so much time because of the smog and the smoke. But now, woohoo, it's clear. So the universe needs to be celebrated, and there is the sun blinding us all. So we are now on pages, let me see where we are. 62 A and B, please. Great. Right there.
We are grateful
To you,
Goddess, for creating this incredible universe with 100 billion galaxies. But the Milky Way would have been plenty for us. And we are grateful for the sun, Hashemesh hazorachat al penei haaretz,
shining its light on us,
giving us light
and giving us warmth,
so that life can develop and evolve in a zillion amazing ways. And we are grateful for the synthesis that makes it possible for us to see all the beauty around us. The trees,
the
water,
the deer,
mountains,
the dogs, each other, all of you,
the ocean,
sky,
and the hills of Marin,
and the flowers, and the squirrels. All the beauty around us. And we are grateful for
the sun.
The sun. We're grateful to you.
The sun.
And we are grateful for photosynthesis
that makes it possible for us to get nourishment out of the fruits and the veggies.
We are grateful to
You, Goddess, for renewing every day the events of creation. Hamechadeshet betuva bechol yom tamid ma'aseh bereshit. Or chadash Zion v'niskach kulanu mehera le'ora brucha aya shechina yotzeret me'oros.
Ahava Rabba Avtanu
Adonai Eloheinu Chemla Gdola V'Tera Hamalta Aleinu Avinu Malkeinu Ba'avoreinu Shebatchu V'cha Horeinu Moreinu V'telamdem chukei hayin Ken techanei Avinu ha'av Rachaman Hamrachem Rachem Aleinu V'tein b'libeinu להבין ולהשכיל לשמוע, ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות, ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה, with love. ערננו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבינו לאהבה
וירא
את שמך. לא נבוש
no way
לעולם ועד, ולא נבוש לעולם ועד.
enlighten our eyes
Through your Torah,
and let our hearts
cleave to your mitzvot, and unify our consciousness to love and to be in awe of you. And we will not be embarrassed
say it no way
to declare the possibility of a world based on love, kindness, and generosity, social and economic justice, environmental sanity, evolution of the consciousness of all humanity. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ay ya la la la, ay ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ay ya la la la, ay la la la. והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו כמה מארצנו, כי אל פה ישועות אתה, ובנו בחרת עם קולם בלשון. וקרבתנו לשמחה גדולה באמת, להודות לך יחדך באהבה, ברוכה היא השכינה הבוחרת בעמה ישראל,
בעמה ישמעאל
וכל יושבי תבל באהבה. So we're about to say the Shema, but we're going to sing a slightly different version of it first, and then we'll go to the way that you probably all know of it. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Shema Yisrael
Shekhinah Eloheinu
Shekhinah Achad. Shema Yisrael
Shekhinah Eloheinu
Shekhinah Achad. Shema Yisrael Shekhinah Eloheinu Shekhinah Achad. Shema Yisrael Shekhinah Eloheinu Shekhinah Achad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Shekhinah Eloheinu Shekhinah Achad.
Ve'ahavta
Et
Adonai Elohecha
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך
ובכל מאודיך
והיו
הדברים האלה
אשר אנוכי
מצווך היום
יום
על
על
לבביך
לבביך
ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. והיה עם שמוע, and it shall come to pass, if you love the transformative power of the universe with all your heart, all your soul, and all your passions, and use that energy to build a world based on these teachings, these mitzvot, a world of love of the stranger and the other, of kindness and generosity and care, peace, compassion, and nonviolence, social, economic, and environmental justice, and ecological sensitivity, then the world will work. Yay.
The sun will shine.
Yay.
The rain will fall appropriate to its season.
Good.
The earth will give forth her produce.
Yay.
And you and your animals will eat and be satisfied.
Yay.
But be careful, watch out.
Uh-oh.
Because if you don't build a world based on these mitzvot, and instead build one based on selfishness and greed, consuming and producing without care for the well-being of the planet or its inhabitants, constantly chasing and hoarding after more money, power, fame, or land, building walls that separate, voting rights for some and not others, economic systems that benefit the few on the backs of the many, then the world will not work.
Oy.
Just as the social, economic, and political systems become unbalanced, so too will the ecological and environmental systems become unbalanced, and foundations of the earth and universe will come unbalanced as well. The sun will not shine,
Oy.
the rain will not fall,
Oy.
the earth will not give forth her produce.
Oy.
There will be a series of environmental catastrophes. Cities and nations alike will be consumed from bursting waters. Fires will spread throughout the lands, glaciers will melt, and eventually you and your animals too will be wiped off from the face of the earth in one of these catastrophes. So teach this to your children. Talk about it in public and in private, even if your voice cracks and your knees shake, even if people get upset hearing it. Talk about it in your home with your friends and family, even if they are sick and tired of hearing about it. Talk about it when you walk by the way so strangers hear this message, because this is the greatest spiritual need and calling of our time. Talk about it when you go to sleep at night and when you get up in the morning, because you'll forget. Bind it for sign upon your arm so it seeps into your heart and guides your actions. And a sign upon your third eye so it seeps deep into your unconscious, permeating every cell and pore of your being. Write it for a sign upon your doorposts and upon your gates so that you remember, so that all those who come into your home know the values by which you live. And if you do these things and build this loving and just world, then you and your children and all children will have a good long life on this good earth that God promised you. And God spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, put tzitzit on the corners of your garment. Put a blue thread in the tzitzit, because if it's all just white, you won't notice it, and you need to constantly be awakened to the memory of it and to look at the tzitzit as reminders to remember this teaching and to do it, to carry out the mitzvot of building a loving and just world. God continued and said, I am the transformative power of the universe that brought you out of the narrow consciousness of slavery, of constriction, that showed you that the world could be fundamentally healed, repaired, and transformed. I am that force in truth. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem emet. And as we go into the song that Ami's going to lead us in a moment, Mi Chamocha, It's a song that was the women, Miriam and the women sang at the Sea of Reeds as we got to the other side in celebration of the miracle of our freedom. What we're taught in the Midrash is, or actually in the Torah itself, is that the mass multitudes left with us. It wasn't just us. It wasn't just the slaves of Egypt that left, but many different people from all different levels of society left. And what that teaches us today, is that in order for freedom, for people to achieve freedom, we all need to participate in creating that freedom with them. So as you sing and dance in celebration of our freedom and of your current freedom today, I want to invite you and encourage you to set an intention for what it is you're going to commit to in this new year to help participate in the uplifting of freedom for all of us, because no one is free until we're all free.
Yes. Thank you. I need that.
Let's reclaim the joy from coming out of the constraints of the narrow places to freedom. Mi kamocha bailim ya, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh nora tehilot hosefele, oh ya la la ya la 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 ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ay la 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 ya la ya hayim loch leolam vaed ya hayim loch leolam vaed ya hayim loch leolam vaed leolam vaed Tzur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael uftechnu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Scroll down please. Go aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo kedosh Yisrael Baruch atah Yahakal Yisrael.